Hello and welcome again to a new chapter number 17 of Azure Support Academy. In this session, we are going to talk how to configure VNET for SQL Azure and how it works. My name is Jose Manuel Jurado. I am Support Escalation Engineer of SQL Azure and Subject Master Expert in this technology. So let's go. Okay, once we have created a new server, normally we have the configuration is this one. It's allow the firewall rules, I mean, a virtual network. It's on. I'm going to, we have on, 1 second, delete. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to click on. This is the normal configuration that we have in SQL. So once we have this, if I try, this is my virtual machine running in Azure in the same data center that my SQL Azure server is working. I'm going to click here and try to connect to this database. I click database engine. I'm going to type password. I'm run. Okay, I'm able to connect to this database and I'm able to see the tables, etc. So if, for example, if I try to run this command, set connections, I see that the comparison of the of this connection. So what happened if I try to disconnect again? I'm going to my server, so my SQL. Okay, I'm going to click here off. If I click here, save, that means allow access Azure services that all services, all machines that we have in the same data center that our SQL Azure service is running will be able to at least to try to connect. Okay, it's clear that we need the user and password or Azure Active Directory user, but any machine could try to at least to connect. If I try to connect right now, I have received this message that cannot be opened yet because it's the client is not allowed to access the server. So it's clear that this is the message, it's clear. So right now, I'm going to modify the rule that I'm going to add a new virtual network. I click here. I'm going to choose my subscription, my virtual network, and right now the endpoint is enabled. Okay, I'm going to add my service and my SQL Azure in this virtual network. I'm going to click here. It's very important to have the endpoint. I'm going to show you later how to disable this. I click OK. And in a couple of seconds, minute, I'm going to try again to connect to the server. Okay, successfully. If I try to connect to the server, I'm going to be able, I click in my data, my tables. This is the reason that 1 second, I'm going to exec connection against. And I'm able to see that the connection, the IP connection is this number. This number is the internal IP that I have in my VNet. But what happened if I try to run a ping command? If I run to ping command to verify the IP of my server, oh, I receive that the IP is not the internal IP, so it's the proxy server. So that means that when I add this SQL server in this virtual network, it just only means that it's machine that I have in this virtual machine. I could add other machines in this virtual network. It could be able to connect to the Azure SQL Server, okay? But that not mean that in this SQL Azure will be part of my VNet. It's just only that all machines I have in my VNet will be able to connect to this Azure SQL server. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example later. Okay, so right now I have the success. I'm going to, for example, I'm going to take I'm going to review what is the communication. If I try to take an network trace using this command, right now I able to take the, the network monitor. Sorry, this network trace. I try to I'm going to disconnect to connect again to the server. Enable to connect. I'm going to show you how the connection is going. I'm going to stop. Okay, and a couple of minutes I'm going to have this file in my temp folder with my name, the name of this virtual machine. So once we have these files, as you could see, this is a network monitor, but you could use other Wireshark or other tool. As you could see, this is the communication that is going through. This is the IP of the virtual machine, but the connection is going against the proxy. It's not a specific IP of this VNet. So for the reason, just only VNet means that the protection will be just only the machine that is running this VNet. Okay. So let's try to stop here. Okay, we have this connection, but let me show you how to disable. We could do it. We could delete the firewall rule, or we could also, in the virtual machines, we could disable the endpoint. Okay, I'm going to choose the virtual machine. I'm going to click here in the virtual network. I'm going to click here in the service endpoint, and as you could see, I have the endpoint of for SQL Azure. So I'm going to delete, for example. I click here. A couple of minutes and we are going to have updated this one. I'm going to go back to the SQL server. I choose the server, and as in the firewall virtual networks, as you can see, we have not enabled. If I try to connect again in this server, even when the VNet is installed, it's created. But if I don't have the endpoint, I'm going to receive this message because it is not possible to add a firewall. So this is another. I'm not able to connect to this server. I could try to add the firewall, but anyway, you are going to receive this message. This is very important because we have seen several cases that some customer that thinks that the virtual machine, this Azure SQL, will be part of the VNet. No, it's all the VNets that we have in all the machine that we have in this VNet will be able to connect to this SQL server. Okay, so go back to the presentation. So this is very important to know, okay? It's very important that a VNet means that how to configure, we review how to configure it, how it works. But if you have any other questions, please send me an email to jmjurado@microsoft.com. Thank you so much for your attention, and I will see you in another session. Bye.